Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Scribble Time with Panda. I'm your host, Nolan Lee, and we'll be doing a 1-hour drawing session. And today's theme is monsters. So if you're in the chat right now, please post your suggestion there or post it in the comments below, and we'll get started. All right, let's draw some monsters. All right, so the first suggestion that I got was for Godzilla. So by monsters, I mean today's theme is monsters, so just suggest any kind of monster, or you can combine some monsters together. Things like, I don't know, an octopus / hamster, and we can draw those. So let's get started with the with Godzilla. So first, it's let's see. So first, we'll draw our character like this. Kind of give him a flat head. And then Godzilla kind of has these sharp teeth, and I'm going to give him a couple nostrils. And then here's his head here, and I'm going to give him some panda ears because, of course, he's a panda. And it's funny, there's several versions of Godzilla that are differing shapes. Like the new movies, they kind of have him a little bit more heavy set, so we're going to kind of go with that one. In there's other previous movies where he looks more like a T-Rex, and so I'm going to make him smiling this time. I actually drew Godzilla earlier this week for a sketch prompt called 6 Fan Arts, and so it's a thing that's going around where people are drawing they're requesting fan arts. They're having their followers post suggestions for freelance for fan art. Sorry, I can't talk. It's Monday, and let's see here. I'm just gonna have them play with the little airplane here, like this. And so someone asked me to draw Godzilla, so I did just that. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a panda right here in the airplane. Like so. Okay. So that's our first one here with Godzilla, and he's having lots of fun. He's like, purr. Let's move his nostrils up a little bit closer. So yeah, if you're watching right now, please message. Please provide your suggestions for monsters. So we're gonna have him maybe move a little bit further here. And I'm also going to just post in the chat here, so post your monster suggestions. And let's get started. Or let's continue. So I'm going to give him some Godzilla legs. He has these. We're going to give him a tail. And then he has these scales on the back that are kind of shaped like flames, kind of making him a little bit more terrifying and giving a really unique silhouette. So I'm going to make him big, but then I'm going to go back and make them smaller, and smaller. And you'll be able to get these sketches that you guys can print out and download on your download from my site at punchingpandas.com/scribbletime. Okay, so we got we're gonna kind of give him this little band here just to kind of show that he's kind of a panda. And then just to make it feel like he's larger than life, we're going to give some buildings here. We're going to, you know, maybe we can color in the lights or add windows. And there's so many windows it almost feels like a texture. So I'm just going to make textures of these buildings. And you can even, actually we can put some in front so it makes it feel like he's even bigger than life, than what's actually there. So I'm going to draw a couple buildings here. Yeah, let's do that so that kind of makes it feel like he's actually within the real city. So I'm just going to add a couple more buildings. Just make it feel random. You can make different shapes. You know, some buildings are shaped like that. Okay, just gonna put tail here. He doesn't really have a snake-like tail, so I'm not going to make it too long. But let me just make this building a little bit smaller so you can see the little fins. Okay, so there's our Godzilla. Oh, let's move that there. All right, so that's our first monster of the day. Then the second monster is from Hector. It'll be a werewolf panda. Oop, let's just change that. Sometimes that's a window that pops up in Photoshop when I accidentally click the wrong thing. And now we're gonna have a werewolf panda. How about that? Let's go werewolf. Let's make it over. Let me take a little sip. Hi Lana, welcome to this the Panda stream. I think this is the first time I might have seen you here, so feel free to post more suggestions than the ones that you've already provided. Thank you, by the way. Here, let me add a couple more windows just to make it feel like it's a building, and then you guys can color these in later when you guys download it from punchingpandas.com/scribbletime. Scribbletime is one word, no dashes or anything. Okay, so we just go like this, add some windows. You don't have to add all the windows, just maybe a couple, just to kind of feel like the whole thing is populated with windows. See, you just add a couple windows here and there, and then you'll eventually get the idea that the whole thing is filled with windows. All right. Exciting, I know, windows. There's cheats to do this on digital, like you can copy paste and like spread them all over. I won't do that because I like making it feel like it's more of a sketch. Let's see here. Aragog, the spider from Harry Potter. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, let's go to the werewolf panda. Now, werewolf, we have the moon, the full moon. Just gonna add a couple spots to the moon. Make it feel like it's a rock. And then usually with the werewolf, it's kind of like he's always in the middle of a transformation. So this is a panda werewolf where it's a panda changing into a wolf. Usually the chest is kind of pushed out like this way, you know, almost like he's gonna surge, but he just got that unsatiable desire to howl at the moon. Let me change that up, actually. That looks kind of weird. Let's give him crazy eyes. We gotta make him. Give him some teeth. Ah! Because he's a wolf. And we're gonna start making him feel a little bit fuzzier. So I like to add these little lines to and I'm also going to add these little surface lines here where he's going to make it feel like he's writhing in this transformation. He's like, ah. Oop, let's see here. Now the other thing is, question: did I post the Friday sketches? I thought I did, but maybe I did not. It should be on the website, but let me just double check here quickly. Sorry for that. This is a little delay, but I believe they should be uploaded. Yes, on so if you go to punchingpandas.com/scribbletime, the drawings are there. Sorry, sometimes I have to remember if I did or not. I guess I did those on Friday, so it's kind of a long time ago. All right. All right, so sometimes I just add little specks here to kind of show that he's becoming a werewolf panda. Actually, let's give him some wolf ears. Yeah, like that. Make it feel more wolf-like. Say, ow. Give him a wolf tail too. Maybe separate that with a little line like this. Okay. All right. All right, there we got our werewolf panda. Arr! Okay. Let me just save this. It's always important to save. Always important to save. Start a new folder. We just call it 2020-04-13 Scribble Time Monsters. And we'll call that Monsters. All right. Now, next would be see, Aragog, I think, is the spider, the giant panda. Sorry, I'll talk today. This giant spider that Hagrid raises. Okay, all right. So we're gonna change that. We're gonna take off Godzilla here, and we're gonna put Aragog. So we're just going to draw a big giant spider. So there's usually the thorax, the abdomen, and then we just draw a little head here. add these little pincers. I'm gonna add my little panda eyes. My panda eyes are drawn like this. They're kind of like ovals, like this. Then the nose is kind of a bean shape like that, and then another oval type of shape. So that's how I draw it. And just think of it as when you're drawing these, think of them as drawing on a line, like so. Actually, probably not that slanty. I mean, not that much of a curve, but more something like this. So there's a slight curve to it, like so. So here I'm just going to add big giant spider legs. Spider's actually nice, right? Spiders actually, they look scary, but they're supposed to be good for your home because they eat all the bad bugs outside. Well, they're probably better to leave outside than in your home. So I normally try to catch them and toss them back outside because I'm like, you know, inside the house they're gonna starve because there's not many bugs. But out there in the wild world, in your backyard or in front yard or wherever, you know, that's where they feast. So if you don't like bugs that eat your crops or garden or what have you, just toss them outside. Okay. Actually, let's put Hagrid on top because Hagrid has this big giant beard. Kind of looks like Santa Claus right now. All right. So I'm gonna just decorate that beard a little bit. Okay, so sometimes with spiders, you want to kind of give them a pattern. Let's see. Okay, so then there's this big giant abdomen. Sometimes you don't really. You can vary the size of the abdomen. Sometimes in spiders they're round. Sometimes they're a little bit skinnier. So I think with this one we'll go with the skinnier one. So we're gonna be drawing a bunch of legs, and the legs are a little bit tricky because you know, spiders have 8 legs, so we have to make sure there's enough room for them. Let's see. And so usually they're connected to the abdomen, I believe. That's what this part is. Here, let me do this where I'm gonna try to make this more of a add some story to it. This is adding story, just like a story, meaning not just drawing the characters as they are, but also like adding something that's kind of cool, that makes you think of it as a. I'm gonna move this line here because I don't really need that. Okay, so then we're gonna do this. Gonna dangle. Usually it's a horse, but this time it's a. Let's tie up. What's something that he would like? I guess a mouse, maybe. Yeah, we'll just do a mouse here. We'll add some more legs. Try to vary up the legs a bit to kind of give some variety, so it doesn't look so monotonous and symmetrical. So I like to just make things feel a little bit different. So I'm not having these things like legs are parallel. I like to have them varied about. So I'm just gonna put a couple. I'm gonna put another. Let me put another leg here. Here, and then another leg there. So it's always tricky drawing spider legs because you want to make sure that you give enough room for them. I'm gonna have it come down here this time. Probably not that far, actually, more like and then another leg up here. It's gonna have this thing come up, this little, add more here, just kind of make it, give that texture to it. Okay, this one's kind of taking me a while, but I'm gonna finish it. It's okay. So if you study spiders, they kind of have these little type of legs like this. I'm gonna draw some more legs like so. Show the underside of it. Actually, this leg doesn't make sense because it's going this way. Let's have yeah, let's have it come back up. Let's go down. Okay, kind of add some ground lines to kind of give it some dimension. Okay, so I think that's about it for Aragog. Hey, thanks for that. All right, Panda Kraken from the Titans movie. Now the Kraken looks a little bit different in that movie because it almost looks like, normally a Kraken feels like a giant octopus, but this one kind of looks almost like it's very interesting. It kind of looks like a lizard slash with a let me see the picture here. It looks almost like a dinosaur with tentacles. So pretty scary guy. So I'm just gonna put that reference right here for now. Oh, okay. We're gonna go through this again, huh? All right. Photoshop. I am updated my Photoshop, and sometimes it does some wacky things. So I'm gonna put that over there. Okay, looks like that's okay. So I'm gonna have the Kraken be something like this. I always put the C. I always spell Kraken with a C. I know that's not. But I always keep forgetting. Kraken, Kraken, Kraken. I think he has like multiple arms too, if I remember right. It's almost like a crab rather than like a tentacle type of creature. Gonna make him feel a little bit more scaly, like so. almost kind of beefy like this. And then of course I'm going to give him boxing gloves. Because why not boxing gloves? I think he has these like tentacle kind of things. And just gonna give him some. He's gonna be a pretty beefy. Yeah, he's a pretty beefy. He works out a lot. Let's just say. Actually, let's take that line out. Let's give him some abs as well. It's a very fit. It's a very fit Kraken. Let's just say that. And then we'll give him the tentacles too. Have it splashing out of the water. Be like splish splash. I think these tentacles were like, at least from the movie, I think they're a little bit more spiky. It's just kind of interesting. And I like to vary them up a bit. I'm going to move our Aragog now. I'm going to move here. Splash the water a bit. Sometimes I like to add these little circles in between to kind of like break up the water. Adds a nice stylistic flair to it. So it's like you can try it too. It's like introducing in this corner at 300 feet in 10,000 pounds, the Kraken. And he'll come out with his posse. Okay. His Kraken posse. All right. Okay, a little droplets of water. Gotta make something big. You don't want to make some of these details too big. Like the water droplets will probably feel like maybe it might help to make the water droplets really tiny. Because then it feels like, you know, maybe put something in for scale like a boat. It's like holy moly, that's a big monster. I'm gonna put a couple waves here. Oh boy. Of course, I'm going to add the panda ears. Everybody's got to have panda ears. Here, actually, let's go this way. I was having that. Maybe add some thorns on here. Kind of make it feel a little bit more menacing, a little bit more dangerous. Okay. Okay, there's our Kraken. Okay, now we got what we got next here. Let's see. How about a Yeti? Yeah, so we'll do like a Yeti Panda. Alright, so I'm just going to put off our Leviathan here. Or maybe our Kraken. Just add a couple more details. Sometimes it helps to kind of go over some of these drawings again, to some of the outlines to kind of strengthen the form a bit. So because when you outline them like that, it makes it read a little bit clearer. So you see when I do that, now that stuff kind of pops a little bit more. And if I add some shadows like this, then that kind of helps separate things from each other, not make it look so messy. I mean, it still is pretty messy, but you know. Okay. All right. Now we got ourselves a Yeti. We'll move him off to the side here. A Yeti would look like just a big guy wearing a fursuit. So I'm gonna have, let's see. But they have like really big foreheads, so I'm just gonna give them a really big head. It's kind of similar to this gorilla character I've been drawing lately. I think they look like gorillas. Make it feel more fuzzy. Okay, I'm just going to do this. Gonna add some more story to it. Maybe I should make him feel a lot bigger, so I'm just going to make him... Gonna make him work on this snowman. Or make it a snow Yeti. Let's make the head a little bit bigger. Add a carrot here. gonna add some hands here. Oh wait, he's a box. Yeah, see, this is gonna be a panda, so let's give him the boxing gloves. Not to cheat though. I do like drawing hands. It's just that we'll just keep this consistent with the theme of punching pandas. But the thing is, like a mitten is basically a good way to think about drawing a hand, because like really, if you draw the outline of a hand, what you can do is add little fingers. Think of the outline as a hand, and then you can work your fingers in there, like so. You can, you already have your thumb, and you just need to add the rest of the fingers to that. But that'll be for like a different lesson, drawing hands. I've experienced drawing with hands. I don't claim to be like the best at drawing hands, but I know enough to at least maybe provide some pointers, so to speak. No pun intended. Okay, I'm gonna add some fur to him. I'm gonna make him feel very fluffy, very hairy. Okay, we're gonna add this. Actually, let me change this hand a bit. It's looking kind of goofy. I'm gonna give him a little bit shorter legs, and then this is where I'll add the feet. Usually he has big toes like this. We'll have the snowman kind of come out a little bit bigger, so kind of getting a little bit distracted with these simple shapes. So I'm just gonna bring it back here, like so. Smooth it, but I'm just gonna loosely draw them a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a wiggly line, not too wiggly because you don't want to make it too and then as an added effect, add some bits of snow to kind of make it feel like it's winter time for him. I'm going to make his belly a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's what we have for our Yeti. Snow Yeti. Okay. Oh, I drew it on the same layer as the Kraken. That's not good. Okay, let me just switch it up and cut paste. Okay, let's move our Yeti over here. Now let's go at the other suggestions. How about actually, there's something wrong about that arm. I think this arm looks too skinny, so I'm just gonna make it. There we go. Excuse me. There we go. Gonna do some foreshortening there. Yeah, something's feeling weird to me. I'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, now let's go to the critter. Okay, I think if I remember right, these guys are pretty scary, but I'll try to keep them up a little bit. Critters is from it's from a 80s movie, if I remember right. I remember seeing a clip of it as a kid. And I was kind of terrified, so I'll try to cute these up a little bit for. They don't really have any noses, but they're just looking. They're just these hairy looking things. These little balls of. I think they also like. If I remember right, I think they also like roll into a big giant ball and like eat people or something like that. That was the clip that I saw. I think it was like people are running in a field. And then these critters just jump into a ball or form into giant balls and like chase people around. Like, hi. And the trick is just to draw, when I'm just sketching hair like this, I just try to keep the shapes intact. So like, they have these little stumpy little feet, like so. I forgot if they have tails too. I think they might. If I remember right. I can't remember if they have tails. I think they don't. So I'm just. Well, they do have tails. Okay, so maybe like little rat tails like this. That might be incorrect, but I actually never seen the movie. I just only saw that one clip, which didn't really make me want to see the movie. But I mean, I'm older now, so maybe I'll go see it as a trip down memory lane. But you know, it's like when you watch it as an adult, it doesn't really faze you as much as a kid. It doesn't really have the impact. But all the parents would probably remember what it's been like. Yeah, so then, when you can make something feel darker, like you could just add more hairs at the bottom to kind of act like shadow. like so. And then we could just make these stand out a bit more. Wait, oh, no tails. Okay, like that. All right, no tails. No tails. Okay. All right. There's that. Actually, let me just draw one more critter. Because I think they're a bit mischievous, if I remember right. Or they look mischievous. They look like troublemakers. Eating people. Causing so much trouble. Here, let's do this. Yeah, for some reason I'm getting a little bit of a lag with my Photoshop because I'm not getting all of my strokes here, I'm noticing. So if you're wondering what's, you might be hearing a bunch of extra tapping, but you might not see the same results. So that's one of the things about digital. Sometimes you don't get the same feeling as analog. Analog meaning regular pencils or markers. And I really want to try to set up an analog type of stream where it's just pencils and crayons because then we don't have to rely on all this trickery from digital. But I'm trying to figure out how to set that up at the moment. So I'll let you guys know. Might be sometime this week. So be prepared to bring your pencils and crayons. Well, I think you're mostly bringing pencils and crayons, but I'll prepare to bring pencils and crayons. Okay. Alright, so that's the critters. And I think we have time for one more. Let's do a Hydra. Hydra, if I remember right, is a multi-headed dragon. Or, yeah, so kind of like the Ghidra. Okay, so I'm just going to put the critters off to the side. Hydra. Now, we're going to start with the base, because I think it's important to make sure that we have our foundation, or at least I don't think of it as an afterthought, because I'm going to think of it as working within this whole canvas. So I'm going to start with the Hydras Legs. Now they're sort of like, they kind of sort of fall like a, I'm going to kind of draw it like a chubby dog. So, because usually with like dogs, they're kind of flat-footed, where other mammals, oh, excuse me, other mammals, or like bears actually are closer in terms of like if we were to, like if humans were to put their paws on the ground, that would kind of feel like what a bear would do. And then elephants are similar. That, you know, they're if we imagine ourselves like elephants, you know, the bottom of their foot is similar to our palm. Whereas with like dogs and sometimes cats, like they press down on the ground on their pads of their fingers. So part of that is just having an understanding of anatomy, not anemones, although anemones also have anatomy as well. So I'm going to just draw this as a, it's going to be kind of a chubby Hydra, so bear with me. actually, because it's a Chubby Hydra, let me just actually change that tail a little bit. Make it more like a dragon's tail with a little pointy thing at the end. So we're gonna go for, actually we'll go for a really chubby Hydra, okay? Let's do that. So the way to draw a really chubby Hydra, first of all, it's gonna give it a bigger belly. Like so. And then the heads are gonna be, normally with the Hydra, it's like you see all these like heads coming out, you know, like different tentacles, and I mean different heads on Spindly that are kind of like snake-like. I'm gonna make mine's like, I don't know, like a potato bug. So so we're gonna do, it's very thick, so this is not gonna be a very threatening Hydra. And we're gonna give it some ears. So this might not what you expect from a Hydra. So we're gonna have one Hydra's head come out like this, and then we're gonna have another gotta give him some chubby faces. And how they connect to the body is kind of an interesting thing. I'm just gonna kind of just make it up as I go. As you can hear, there's some hooting and hollering going on behind me, which is fine. These are very threatening Hydras. I'm gonna add these surface lines to kind of show like what they are like, and then I'm also gonna add some fronds at the top, or little scaly things in the back to kind of make it feel more dragon-like. Okay. So yeah, we're wrapping this up pretty soon, but hope you guys like what you see. If there's anything else you guys would like to talk about or discuss on the show, or have me demonstrate, please feel free to leave a comment. Like the video also if you can. It's just right below the video. Just click the thumbs up, and that helps with the channel. Also subscribe to if you like what you see and want to see more of it, and don't forget to hit the bell for notifications to do that. Also, if you guys have friends or family that would like to see more, or to see artists that don't know about this channel, feel free to share it on your social media platforms, or if you don't have a social media account, just tell your friends just to tune in, because it's free. There's no cost. It's just me just drawing, and kind of give them like pig noses. Let's see here. That's a 4-headed Hydra. Let's do 5, because usually it's like making flowers, right? You don't use even numbers. You use odd numbers, because odd numbers make things more interesting and more pleasing for you florists out there. Shout out I'm gonna put one head out here. He'll be like. You're like, huh? Let's make these eyes a little bit darker. Okay, well, anyways, that's our Scribble time. Thanks again for tuning in, and really appreciate the comments and suggestions for today's prompt of monsters. I'll be posting these on just in a short little while. They should be available. Just give me a few minutes until after the stream, and I'll have these uploaded to my website at punchingpandas.com/Scribble time. Scribble time spelled as one word, and you guys can download these and color them if you like. Actually, if you guys can color them and also post them online too, I'd like to see what those are about. And then also Fridays, I'll be drawing over people's old art. So if you have art that you like to see me do a take on, feel free to submit it. It could be anything. Doesn't have to be pandas. It could be any kind of drawing, and I can just do my own take on it as well. So if you'd like to see your artwork featured on the show, just tag your drawings with Punching Pandas or Scribble Tales or Scribble Time. Probably Punching Pandas, actually, because it's more likely that I'll see that one than the other. So again, thanks again for tuning in. This has been Scribble Time with yours truly, and I hope you guys really like what you saw here. And again, talk to you. I'll be doing these Scribble Times weekdays at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and you can subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and be alerted to when the next one is about to happen, or just be reminded because it's happening every weekday at 11. So talk to you guys soon, and thanks again. Cheers.